Great. Yes, let's do it. Let's start our May 1st, 2025 meeting of the Greenbelt Advisory Commission is called to order. Welcome to our electronic meeting. We are holding it electronically and will be conducting it similarly to an in-person meeting. However, please be patient if there are technical issues. Public comment will be via telephone only. Please know that if you are watching this meeting live online, there's a 30-second delay. To speak during any of the public comment opportunities, please call 1-877-853-5247 and enter meeting ID number 947-2712-0905. Again, that number to call is 1-877-853-5247 and the meeting ID number 947-2712-0905. The information is also available on the published agenda in the public notices section of the city website and on the broadcast of this meeting on CTN channel 16, AT&T channel 99, and online at a2gov.org/watch CTN. So please note that if you do call in for public comment, you must enter *6 to unmute yourself. Great. Okay. So next up on our agenda is roll call. And I will call on each of our commissioners. And so please, if you are present, say here or yes, and where you are attending from. So I can start. Chairperson Riggs, attending from my home in Ann Arbor. Commissioner Bloomer, please unmute.
Here from my home in Traverse City.
Commissioner Laramie.
Here from my office in Ann Arbor.
Commissioner Buzzard.
Here from my office in Ypsilanti.
Councilperson Malik.
Here, calling from my home in Ann Arbor's 2nd Ward.
Commissioner Boggs.
Here from my home in Ann Arbor.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here from my home in Ann Arbor.
Great. And Commissioner Armstrong. Commissioner Schuler. Okay. Great. Well, we do have a quorum. And so we can move on to approval of the agenda. So could we have a motion to approve today's agenda?
So moved.
Great. And is there a second or support?
Second.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
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 Great. None opposed. So the agenda is approved. And we, number 4 on our agenda is approval of the minutes. Those were sent to us in our meeting packet. Our last meeting was on March 6th. We did not meet in April. So if you would like to just take a couple of minutes and review those notes that were in your packet, please do so. And then we will see if there's a motion to approve. Would anyone like more time? Oh, okay. If everything looks in order then from the March 6th meeting notes, thank you to city staff for providing those. Do we have a motion to approve those? Okay, Commissioner Boggs, great. And is there a support?
I'll support.
I didn't catch that. I saw many hands and I heard a voice. Was that Commissioner Bloomer?
Sure.
Okay, great. So all in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed, nay. Okay, the agenda is, or I'm sorry, the minutes are approved. And then next on our agenda is public commentary. So this is one of two opportunities for folks to address the commission. Is anybody waiting to speak during public commentary?
We have no callers for public commentary.
Okay, thank you. Then we can move on to item 6, which is presentations. Staff report and budget review. So over to you, Rosie.
Right. Remy regrets that he cannot join you all today, and he sends his regards to just me. All right. So we have some news that related to conservation. So unrelated to the Greenbelt specifically, though this is inside the Greenbelt. Ann Arbor Township received a donation of 98 acres on Whitmore Lake and Joy Road, which is near several conserved properties as well. And the township still considering what will be done there, but will be, parkland or conserved land in some way. And then related to the Greenbelt in March, there was a slurry of Greenbelt and conservation related MLive articles about sort of in response to our projects that went to City Council, which was St. John's and Enos, as well as Hicks and Morley. So stuff on those. And then Chairperson Riggs notified us that our GAC member Sheila Schuler had a feature article in the Ann Arbor Observer recently. So busy couple months. I wanted to give you all a public update, very general update on the Blue Belt, which is that it is coming soon. We will have been working on it. We will have, I'll let you know some of the updates. We'll have a review period on it. There is, of course, growing interest in it from our partners, from other townships in the county. And staff gave a presentation on the Greenbelt / Blue Belt to the Michigan Forest to My Faucet group. That was a nice invitation. And our other big initiative, Buy, Protect, Sell, want to put it out there, still looking for properties. There aren't a lot for sale on the open market at the moment, though I am looking at a couple that are, but there's a few that's just kind of perfect sitting out there. So just, keep an eye out. Anybody watching this meeting, if you got some farmland in the Greenbelt, let me know.
Rosie, I found 30 acres recently that I was going to suggest to you. The only problem was it came with a 10,000 square foot house plus 2 additional houses, a barn, a
yes,
swimming pool. Yes,
that is part of the challenge of some of the properties out there. Yes.
Yeah. It was only $9 million, so
Yeah.
Yeah, we do not have that fund balance. But glad you're keeping an eye out. If you don't mind, I'll move on to the budget from the staff report. So we have a few more things now that I mentioned have been approved by City Council. We also have an updated fund balance as of the end of March. 2 months ago, you saw the fund balance at the end of December. So these are our current projects. Hicks and so Fletcher's just kind of sitting out there. Haven't heard any updates lately. St. John's and Ennis are ours. We're working on, I'm working on clearing title for those properties at the moment. There are some pipelines that go through it that need adjustment. And we have started, or the sales contracts for those two are going through legal review now as well. Hicks and Morley, the township has submitted all of the due diligence for Hicks, and the county is currently reviewing those, and then the city will review after. Morley is almost ready. The township is awaiting their environmental site assessment, and then it will be ready for review. So those should close quickly, hopefully. Of course, Hicks has federal funding in it. So there is that. That always takes time, even when it's running well. Though I would like to say publicly, I don't think, that our ASAP Ale coordinator, Brian Thomas, who has been our ASAP Ale coordinator for 18 years, for everybody in the entire state, is retiring, and has already left. So we thank him for his really great work over the years and guidance, and his work making Michigan really successful with this grant. He often gets us more funds to fill in the gap when he's appropriated everything that he has. Michigan gets a lot of the ASAP Ale funding when compared across other states, because we do so much work here and because Brian has advocated for us. So we will miss him. But there are very competent and good people that will take over in his place that we already have relationships with as well. And so looking forward to working with them more. Okay, that was a tangent. So those are on the public open session budget now. And I have updated some of the closed session stuff to reflect, or the closed session numbers to reflect the project we're considering in closed session today.
Thanks, Rosie. Are there any questions from any of the commissioners about the budget or the other report from staff? Okay. Rosie, do you have anything else, or is that the end of your presentation?
That is the end.
Okay, thank you. And also thanks for that shout out to Brian Thomas. So that's interesting to hear, and we'll look forward to hearing more about his successor. Okay, so next on our agenda is we'll be moving into closed session to discuss land acquisition. And to do that, we're going to need someone to make a motion that we go into closed session. So would someone like to do that?
Also move.
Okay, all right, Commissioner Laramie, thank you. And I'm going to say, was there support from Boggs?
Yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Then let's see. I think then we do a roll call and then answer with yes to approve going into closed session. So I will start. So Commissioner Riggs, yes. Commissioner Boggs,
Yes.
Commissioner Bloomer,
Yes.
Commissioner Buzzard,
Yes.
Commissioner Johnson,
Yes.
Commissioner Laramie.
Yes.
Okay, and Councilperson Malik.
Yes.
Great. Okay, thanks. Well, then we will close out here and see you in closed session with the link that we received. Thanks. our closed session.
Have a motion. I'd like to make a motion to recommend city participation with Superior Township in the township's acquisition of fee title to the property identified in application ID 2024-05. Approve a participation agreement with participating parties and approve the contribution of funds not to exceed $460,000 from the open space and parkland preservation millage, contingent upon receipt of final appraised value. And city acceptance of a conservation easement from Superior Township on the property and approve funds not to exceed $56,367 from the open space and parkland preservation millage, contingent upon Superior Township's purchase of the property indicated.
Thank you, Commissioner Laramie. Is there support for the motion?
I'll support.
Okay, Commissioner Buzzard, thank you. And then is there any discussion?
Can I just ask a basic question that I didn't get? How many acres are we talking about?
Oh, it's 162.1 acres.
Okay, thank
And
you.
there is there's a 7-acre building envelope along the road.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay, well, if there's no discussion, then all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Okay, any opposed? Okay, great, thank you. The motion carries. Good. Okay, so the next item on our agenda is old business, and we are in the process of the project scoring for the Greenbelt program. So looking at doing revisions, this is a discussion and there's no voting or decision, official decision happening today, I think is a fair way to put it. So let's see, do you want to, go ahead, Rosie.
Yeah, let's do this until 5:30, and then we'll if that works for everybody, and then we'll have elections and be done after that. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
For sure.
Okay, cool.
Wow.
Okay, so I'll try to I won't go through all of the background this time, but we are, yes, reviewing our scoring system, and very grateful to Kate for remembering everything that we talked about in March, because I had forgotten. So we have finished reviewing the agricultural scoring, and we are now on the open space natural area part of the scoring. And we had a really good discussion in March about different about different perspectives on the value of these different scoring criteria, especially in terms of natural area. And I really appreciated that. And some of the major takeaways or conclusions from that were that I had removed wetlands and you all want it back. So that will go back in. And we had this discussion about this great discussion about road frontage, about how it is, what it means in terms of agricultural land, but it's sort of what it means in terms of natural area, both for recreation potential, because people are driving there, which is sort of related to the function of distance to city limit and number of vehicle trips, but also how it is a downside because it tends to suggest more habitat fragmentation, or at least heightened edge effect. So really fascinating. So those were some of the major conclusions that we came to last time. And I would like to continue this conversation with the method of, again, anything anybody wants to talk about that they feel strongly about based on the the variety or the range of scoring that folks have assigned that you see here. If we don't need to talk about things necessarily that we're all generally in agreement on, and that's why we're going this method of something sparks your attention. Let's talk about that.
Mm.
And I appreciated all of the opinions last time, the opinionated opinions that got this started. So I know there wasn't a lot of notice to review this ahead of time, so it's okay to think for a minute.
So just a clarification question that I have is, are there certain columns that we are needing to focus on during today's meeting?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I just don't want to tread old roads, so to speak.
Right, fair. So I'd say we discussed road frontage. I think we discussed these sort of red ones. I had highlighted these in red as ones to talk about, and I think that we sort of did. And we discussed wetlands for sure. We had that long talk about, or we had a previous discussion about significant cultural value, and so I should say this would be similar to what was presented about significant cultural value in the agricultural scoring, but which is sort of a list of things that can be checkboxed that are appropriate. So I think any of the other ones are up for discussion. But Kate, if you remember differently, if we've already gone through something, we can skip it. We might have talked about this too.
We did. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, good. Yes, thank you. Okay, good. So we don't have to talk about that.
Okay.
One thing that I couldn't remember, Rosie, was regarding the recreation potential, if number of vehicle trips, road frontage, and distance to city limit were all talked about in the same context, or if vehicle trips and road frontage were what we were focused on, because those are the ones that have the notes. Distance to city limit was separate. So I couldn't remember kind of where we had fallen on that, and was curious if folks had some other thoughts. Also, I apologize. I'm going to keep going off camera a little bit. I just got in from field work, so I'm like inhaling late lunch, early dinner right now.
That's fair. Yeah, I guess I don't have that same note under distance to city limit about recreation potential. And yeah, that has a wide range of scores in it, so that's worth discussing.
You were talking about the distance to city limit.
That's what Kate's bringing up.
Sorry, was someone just saying something?
Yes. This is Dee. Parcel priority looks, do we talk about that? Do we
I don't
need
think so.
It looks pretty diverse.
Yeah, parcel priority would be measured by that GIS analysis that the county did on behalf of the Greenbelt. Which is a collection, which is based off of HRWC's bioreserve mapping, as well as an application of additional landscape ecology criteria that measure corridors, stepping stones, stream protection, and expanding core areas.
Oh, it's a lot.
Yeah.
And it is sort of the strategy that could replace or does replace from the strategic plan our old farmland complexes. So functionally within our scoring, that's what this is replacing in the ag and in this one. Because the farmland complexes aren't really relevant to our landscape anymore.
I'm confused.
Fair. Yes, so the old in this one. Okay, so we have this is some of the old scoring here. So we had these older categories. So here, this is a better term. It's just noted as located within strategic plan. And what that meant was within a farmland complex, which is a map that was developed at the beginning of the Greenbelt that said, this is where we should start preserving land. The farmland complexes were large, like 1,500 or I think 1,000 acre swaths of contiguous land. But that was how the analysis started. But the complexes basically covered the entire Greenbelt except Scioto Township, where it's already been pretty developed, and Pittsfield Township. So it covers a lot of land and is very general, and tried to answer the question, where do we start? Whereas 20 years later, we no longer have that question, where do we start? Our question is, where do we continue? And the parcel-based analysis that we have now available to us is much more based on the current protected landscape than our old unprotected landscape.
Okay, thank you. That makes it somewhat clearer.
I'm only guessing, but I'm just thinking about the wide range of scores that were given in column and with parcel priority. And I guess I'm just wondering, if maybe some of us in doing the scoring weren't entirely clear what was all included in that category. So.
Quite probable. Well, I hope that cleared it up.
Yeah. One of the things that I'm looking at when I'm across all of these many categories is just trying to get a sense of kind of that gut check. Like, does it feel appropriate, like where the weighting is happening? At least from where I sit. And so that's kind of what I'm using right now to look at these because it is difficult to know unless the commissioner really remembers specifically why they scored something a certain way and wants to talk about it. Like I just I think generally I would say this feels right to me in terms of where the weighting is happening.
Can I just ask how you would propose to give some weight to wetlands?
Yeah, I would just add it back in here. So what happens after this? If this is the last time we discuss, if Elizabeth's sentiments are generally shared, besides wetlands sitting out there on the side, we would finish the rest of this. Sorry, I would send out a blank version of this again with wetlands incorporated back in. And you would all think about our conversations and put in new scores. And hopefully there's a bit more consensus now after these discussions. And then I will compile those scores and those will be our scores. Those will be our scoring system.
Okay, thank you.
So you'll have the 200 points again to reassign, and wetlands will be in there for assignment. And so I would have to, based on our recreation potential thing again, there would be some moving around of that as well, that I would have to check with you about number of vehicle trips and road frontage and how that becomes recreation potential.
Yeah, I appreciate that question, Roseanne. Do we want to see those numbers put back in column P? You know, as a necessary next step. Okay.
Yeah, I agree with Elizabeth. I think it would be nice maybe at this stage to see the wetlands again and then see your proposal, Rosie, for combining or like grouping this like recreation potential category. And then because I also kind of pay more attention to the weight and the percentage versus just the raw number. So knowing kind of what categories, so maybe coming back and saying, okay, now do we agree on all of the categories, know what they mean, and then kind of reassign from there.
Okay.
If other folks are comfortable with that.
That works for me, and it's 5:30. So I'll take that as an action item and we'll go forward with that.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're making progress. Okay, so next on our agenda, number 9 is elections. So we're at that time of the year where our executive committee gets reshuffled. And I've been pleased to be your chair for the last couple of years, I think, and supported very ably by Jason Boggs in vice chair role. Thanks for filling in, Jason, and Commissioner Boggs on those meetings that I missed. I think I don't have a script for how to do this, Rosie, so I'm happy to wing it unless you've got something more official.
I don't have anything on me. Juliet
Okay.
might, but we need maybe you were going to give more context, but we will have there will be a vote for chair and vice chair.
Yeah.
The nomination and a vote.
We do have some interested parties. For chair and vice chair, to take us through the next year of Greenbelt Commission activities. And so I guess we'll need to nominate them. Yeah. And is that something that I can do, or can I present the slate?
That's a great question. I think you can nominate.
Okay.
I believe so. I remember from PAC it wasn't a formal process.
Okay.
And the chair had nominated a new chair at that point.
Okay, thank you. So in that case, for the 2025-2026 season of the Greenbelt Advisory Commission, I would like to nominate Kate Laramie as chair, and Roseanne Bloomer as vice chair.
Okay.
And so, is that a motion that I need a support on then?
I think we need to motion for each.
For each one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's just stick with
to a point.
Thank you. So in terms of the nomination of Commissioner Laramie for chair,
and does Commissioner Laramie accept
do
the nomination?
You accept? Yes, most importantly.
I do accept. Thank you very much.
Great.
For the nomination.
Thank you.
Kate has also been joining our executive committee meetings to prepare for this.
That's right. She's been shadowing in, the chair in waiting, so to speak. So, okay, good. Well, thank you for accepting that. And then, is there a any comments or support of that nomination?
I would support that nomination. I think Kate's always been a very wise commenter, and I appreciate her insight. So, and I think she'd do a good job.
Thank you. Okay, great. And then are we voting then?
Yeah,
If there aren't any
yes.
other comments?
Yes,
Okay,
a motion and a second and a vote.
okay.
Mhm.
So I think I made the motion. And is there a support of the motion from Councilperson Malik? Okay, great. And then if in favor of Commissioner Laramie being chair for the next year, please say aye.
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 Hardy aye.
And
then
Kate, you're
opposed,
allowed to vote for yourself, or you can abstain.
I'll abstain, but I appreciate very much all of the support.
Okay, great. Well, then the motion passes. Welcome, Kate. Congratulations. And then, yeah, that's great. And then the nomination of Commissioner Bloomer as vice chair for the next year. Is there do you accept, first of all?
Yes, I accept. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. And is there a second of that motion?
Sure,
Great.
I do for sure.
Thank you, Commissioner Boggs. And any discussion? I would just like to say that I've really appreciated Commissioner Bloomer's perspectives from farmers agricultural community, and just always very insightful. And I appreciate you willingness to step up in this role.
Thank you.
Okay, then let's vote. So all in favor of the motion, please say aye.
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 Any opposed? Oh, sorry. Okay. All right. Any opposed? No. All right. Well, great. The motion carries. So thank you very much.
Yes, and as Elizabeth said, that will take effect in July in the next fiscal year. Just in case we didn't have a meeting next month, but if we do, Elizabeth and Jason will do that meeting.
Okay. Thanks for that reminder. I don't think I said that, but yes, in July. Just in case we don't have a meeting, I just want to say, I mentioned Jason. Thanks so much for being vice chair and handling those duties. And also just for Commissioners Laramie and Bloomer, I think from having been on the commission now for a bit that the city staff, Rosie, also Remy, are just terrific. And it's really, you will be well supported. And also, I'm here and Commissioner Boggs is here if there's any questions that you have going forward.
Yeah, I wanted to echo that too, and thank everybody for the opportunity to participate that little bit further into the executive committee side of things. It was just really, really interesting to learn from such great folks, and we're all in good hands with staff, and then now we are in good hands with new executive leadership, and it's really a neat thing to be a part of all of this group. And now I'm officially old because I said the word neat, but I meant it in the best way possible.
Do the kids not say that?
The kids do not say the word neat unless they're using their old man voice.
Whoops.
Yep.
Well, I also thank Elizabeth and Jason for their time. And Remy and I are better for the conversations we have had with Elizabeth and Jason, and we will continue to do better work with Kate and Roseanne and all of you as well. And Jason and Elizabeth are just very busy people, as we all are, and they have done really good work and need to move on to other good work.
Thank you. Thanks, Rosie. And I just also want to pitch for our other commissioners who have not yet been on executive committee. This is something to think about for the future.
Yes. If anyone wants to. I think the shadowing thing worked well. We can discuss that as a continuing option.
Yeah. Great. Okay. I think moving on from that, I think we have another opportunity for public commentary. If there's anyone waiting to address the commission.
We have no callers for public commentary.
Okay. Thank you. Then in that case, we are ready to adjourn the meeting. Could I get I think that's right. Yeah. Could I get a motion, please, to adjourn our meeting?
I make a
Motion.
motion to adjourn.
Okay. Thank you, Commissioner Bloomer. And a second?
Oh, I'll second.
Great. Okay. Commissioner Armstrong. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Okay. All right.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you all. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
the
Thanks, everyone.
extra time.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hope to see you all soon. Bye.